Finally, happy to see you, my friend Dr. Rakitic. It was a pleasure to visit your clinic, Dr. Jinik Hospital, and to discover the beautiful city of Istanbul. Thank you and your team for the warm welcome and the best treat. Can't wait to see the result. And in today's video, I'm going to be commenting on his result. He chose a very low-cost clinic to do this in Istanbul. I want to share with you whether it was worth it and whether you can expect the same type of results if you decide to go to the same clinic and more. Make sure you stay tuned, and as always, before we start, quick shout out to our sponsor GoFiber. These are hair building fibers you can use to mask any thinning or patchy areas on your scalp to make your hair look thicker and better. So make sure you check out the link in the video description below where you can visit GoFiber, get a free sample of your choice and try them out. See if you like them. Some of you guys on Instagram shared with me this Reddit post where people are wondering, okay, what happened to Ivan Rakitic hairline? This picture below is the old one, and that's how he kind of progressed. And then boom, we can see him with a way better looking hairline just recently. There was even one guy who mentioned like, yeah, this guy looks like Matt Dominance in the third pick. Yeah, this is like an ongoing discussion. It's been going on since like 4 years that we look alike. It's interesting that people think that. I don't think that, but I find it funny. So here we can see Ivan's hair situation in his early 20s, where we can already start noticing that his forehead will have the tendency to go a little bit high, and the hair on the corners start to recede a little bit. This was 2015 when he was in his mid-20s, 25 years old, and it kind of stabilized itself around Norwood 3. Now also, if you compare those pictures when his hair was like longer, it made it look a little bit thinner, and that is why I also recommend all of the guys with this hair, fine to medium hair thickness, I recommend those guys when they're receding to go for a hairstyle where you can actually uncover those areas, but it makes it look kind of full. Now here is a short clip from Dr. Emrah Cinik Hospital. It was last year. Okay, it was a year ago, probably May or June, when he decided to go there. So yeah, let's have a listen to. Okay, this is interesting. They're showing a Tricolab machine. I think this is Tricolab, if I'm not wrong. That's the hair analysis tool where it's connected to a software, and it's going to pretty much, based on AI, estimate, your density, and also they can scan your donor and tell you how many grafts you have in each square centimeter and how many of them are doubles, triples. Like, it can give you these ratios. It's pretty cool software actually. And it's going to assess it way more precisely than just doctor looking at your donor with a loop or magnification and combing through it with a comb. But the funny thing is, like, if you go to Turkey, most of the time people already like either pay a deposit, like, yeah, we want to have the surgery already on that day. They pay for flights, they book the hotel. Most of the times I don't see any clinic really in 99% of the cases using this technology and this Tricolab software on actual patients like you and me, who are just normal guys, not like high celebrity like Ivan Rakitic. They don't even bother doing this. They just have a consultation, 5-10 minutes, draw the hairline, discuss basic stuff, and then they send the patient to the operation room.
To do some hair treatment with Dr. Cinik, and it will be great for sure. Thank you.
Again, it's very surprising to me how good his hair actually looks like. That tells me like he's probably taking medication, because if we compare this to this or this hair situation right there, it just looks that the hair looks a little bit fuller, and to me it could be a sign that he's been taking medication prior to his hair transplant, because that's also the best way to go.
We will do for him hair treatment. Now we are starting with the injections. I will show you already. Okay, let's do it.
Like, as far as doing the low-level laser therapy with the medical grade lasers here before the surgery, this is unusual. Some doctors like to utilize this after the surgery for better skin healing and wound healing. So they will have you go under this light for like 30 minutes or 40 minutes once the grafts have been placed. Doctors who have this LLT in their practice, if they see good results with it, if they have some own experience with it that says, okay, it's beneficial, then they will suggest patients to use it, but not necessarily before the surgery. So again, in this situation, I do see this as a marketing tool as well, because it will definitely not be the decisive thing in terms of whether your grafts will survive more or less, or whether you will have better result or not. Don't really buy into that, because 99% of patients out there are getting their heads done or hair done via surgery without using low-level laser therapy at all. Ivan is 35 years old by the time, or 34 years old by the time he's getting his surgery. Again, Norwood 3, probably taking treatments. His donor also looks very good if you look at his sides here and from the back. I mean, the hair is fine to medium thickness, rather straight hair texture, but the donor will be above average. So he has definitely a good predisposition for, future hair transplants as well. So this is May 9th this year, so probably a year after his surgery, where we can already see that the hairline has been pretty much extended to the left and right, and not really lowered so much, maybe a tiny bit. I wouldn't even say they lowered it so much. It mainly like extended and reconnected with the hair on the sides. They also didn't do temples. Very smart. He's 35. He's gonna be 40 in 5 years. There is no need to really bring those temples back forwards aggressively, in my opinion. I wouldn't have done it either, because I know the risk that comes with that, especially going to a clinic that is in the low price, I call it package zone, but also zone where they do like high patient volume a day. I do not advise anybody to have temples done by clinics where they perform like even 5 to 10 surgeries and more per day, because I know there are some clinics in Turkey that do 5, and there are some good temples from them. Also clinics that charge like 3 grand per surgery. Don't do temples with them. It's not gonna be good, guys. 99.9% of the time, trust me. Sometimes I see the problem in cheaper clinics in Turkey, but also in the high patient volume practices in Turkey, where they try to do those horns. They like to reconnect forcefully the interior hairline on the left and right with the hairline on the temples, temporal hairline, and it's just very awkward. There are many doubles in the frontotemporal transition placed there, and it just doesn't look good. But this time I see they avoided that, and they tried to just reconnect it barely here a little bit, because this was already his existing hair here. So I like that they didn't do it forcefully, and it has a high chance to look natural in the long run as well. Even if he recedes further, as I said, he has the donor to take from for more surgeries. Obviously, he used Dr. Jinik himself for creating incisions, because that's I would assume that automatically that he got at least some doctor involvement in the surgery, and it turned out nicely with the hairline. I like the shape. There are people with different tastes for sure, but for me this is a nice hairline shape, and I think it's matching his face very well. Now, do I recommend that clinic generally? I would say it's not my ultimate favorite, because there are better places, especially for the money from my research. And I visited another 5 clinics last month when I was in Istanbul. Totally, right now I visited 15 clinics in Istanbul only, 25 to 30 worldwide in total. And comparing other places and seeing other results, I'm just not seeing why I would go to this clinic just no matter what. You could consider it for minor hairline touches, and if you don't need many grafts, because we know that technicians are performing extraction there, and it's just like a huge clinic doing like between 10 to 20 patients a day. And looking, why I'm zooming on this is because look at the hairline. We see that the positioning of the grafts, yes, it may appear quite dense compared to the before result, but we can see that the grafts are standing up too high. The angles are more than 10 to 20 degrees, which should be normal for the frontal hairline. It's looking way more standing up, and that's not very natural, and it comes with some negative consequences later on, which I could describe in another video. Like in this case, it may be not so apparent, but if somebody has like finer hair like this guy had, and they put like doubles in the front, it's gonna look more obvious. For example, this result is looking somewhat nice, but again, it's like a sometimes 50-50 chance really that sometimes the result may be good, sometimes not. Some people may like this hairline. To me, from what I've seen, it's looking like pluggy, and it doesn't have that softness that I would require. And that's really also with my age, my expectations on naturalness of the hairline increase, and I know this on myself. When I would be 22 and I could go from the left guy here to the right guy, you can see here, I would love it probably. But as you get older, your expectations on naturalness definitely increase. Now, this guy, for example, got a better outcome compared to those two, like this guy and this guy. So what I want to tell you is that also here, the angles are high and you can see doubles there. Sure, it may not be a big deal for some of you guys. I'm just telling you how it is. For that price, there could be better options. There are likely some, or maybe paying slightly more, getting some higher doctor involvement, going to a lesser, packed place where they do 5 surgeries or less per day would make more sense to me if you want to still go like budget. So that's kind of my conclusion. Obviously, if you are Ivan Rakitic with a large following, you are a celebrity, they will try to make sure that Dr. Jinik will do his best job on the incisions, that he will have there his best technicians who slept well, started in the morning, not in the afternoon, because there are some surgeries also starting in the afternoon in Turkey, and then you don't know whether the technicians have been up since 6 a.m. already working on one patient in the first half of the day, and then in the second half of the day you come. So that's a big problem too with those high patient volume practice. Obviously, if you are Ivan Rakitic and you are a celebrity with a huge following, you will get Dr. Jinik doing incisions himself, trying to do it as best as possible. He'll try to be very cautious and careful. The surgery will not be rushed. The extraction may take a little bit longer just to extract precisely without high transection and homogenize the donor properly, because even when I looked at his donor, I did not find any huge patches. So he did not get over harvested likely, but also because he was just the Norwood 3 before, so he got probably around 3,000 grafts, and his donor was actually above average, so it's hard to over harvest that on the first time. Yeah, with that being said, guys, do your research. Definitely you can look into that clinic. If you expect result like Ivan Rakitic, you gotta have also good donor like he has. You have to choose the highest doctor involvement as he did, but even then you may not get the same result. Some of you guys may end up with maybe higher angles and maybe some doubles in the hairline. It is to be expected with clinics like these that charge little and do like 20 patients a day. So that's pretty much my conclusion. For all of you guys who are interested in my one-on-one consulting services, make sure you check out the link in the video description below, where you can learn more about how I can help you out one-on-one with getting your hair back, stabilizing your hair loss with the best, most side effect free hair loss protocol, the one I'm using and my clients are using with great results, and assist you and guide you throughout your whole journey of getting your hair back. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and see you in the next video.